You got 7 minutes?
1 minute.
We have 1 minute.
Someone can start the poll.
Hi. Ah, spotlighted. Hi, everybody. It's almost time.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
Hi. Hey, good to see you all. Welcome to Xuanzang's Tower. Thanks for coming back. Oh, good. Me and Tim are on the screen at the same time. So that's Tim. Nick.
Tim.
Tim's the guy with the
Nick. No, it's on. It's on.
All right. Welcome to Xuanzang's Tower. Happy to have you all here. Really excited that we have the big boss back today, Geshe Michael Roach, to really guide us in the art of translation. And as many of you know, if you've been getting, hello, Geshe.
Okay, I'm trying to do my hair. Right.
Do it. Take your time. I'll stall.
Stall.
If you've been paying attention and you have subscribed for Geshe Michael's daily email updates, you know that on Christmas Day, which was also Jason Kappa Day,
Which was also Hanukkah, the first day of Hanukkah.
first day of Hanukkah, among other things, as Geshe Michael completed his preliminary translation of Gomparabso, Illumination of the True Thought, Jason Kappa's masterpiece, commenting upon Arya Nagarjuna. So that's exciting. We'll give you a vacation for that anytime, Geshe Michael.
Okay. Soon.
I'm excited. I'm really
excited. San Diego. How's your wife doing?
She's doing okay. Yeah, she's doing okay. It's been a process. She had a brain surgery, for those of you who don't know, but she's doing well.
We're gonna transfer Nick's brain out, put her brain in so that he could translate better.
But they realized the harm that would have done to her. So was the damage to my brain is so far done.
She's doing better though. She's okay.
She's doing pretty well. Yeah, thank you for asking. Every day is a little better, and it's been a process, but it's good. It's good. Things are. I think she made the right decision to go ahead and.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's bad when you do a surgery and you're not sure whether you should have done it.
Okay. Yeah, it's always good to know that it didn't mess you up. And
take care of Rob Haggerty when he's over there, okay?
Is he coming out? Oh yeah. When's he coming?
2 days.
He gets operated on the 2nd.
Yeah.
He'll be there on the.
Let us know how we can help you out, Rob. We'll be in California.
Just carry his wallet for him because it's so heavy.
Don't mind if I do. He can take me out to dinner.
Hey, where's Kramer? It's his class.
Haven't seen him.
Let's get going, man.
Welcome back, boss. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Great.
I'm happy to be back, I guess.
Absolutely. All right, here we go. Party's over.
Yeah.
All right, let me get all these silly windows out of the way. All right, folks. We had an example in a text just recently. What is it that we were able to prove by the fact that a farmer's field has the complete collection of barley seed, soil, water, fertilizer, warmth, and moisture? Looking to you, chat or shout outs. What can we prove by having
We have a huge
complete
crowd at Peach
collection of elements? I hear
know,
the
I know.
rumor. Are they doing the wave yet?
That we're not guilty of being imprecise
Who
about
knows?
the types of correct reasons.
In our author's example, he gave a particular thing that could be proved that didn't happen to be it. I'm gonna give up soon. I'll ask you, okay, here's
The
a
seed
question.
will grow. That a seed will grow. Come on.
Oh,
Yeah.
that oh that is
I-
that true?
You
Do
know,
we
I'm
agree with Geshe Michael? Someone contradict him.
Yeah,
Go
that a
ahead.
seed won't necessarily grow if all the causes and conditions are present.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
trying to prove that something's changing or that facts are unchanging or that truths are unchanging.
If we can't prove that the seed will grow, what can we prove?
That
That
it
it
won't.
could grow.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it certainly could. The potential is there for the seed to grow. All right. What is not proved by the presence of those elements?
That the seed will grow
Hmm.
because a crow could eat the seed.
Yeah, and great, cool. Everyone beware crows. That was the second part of the question.
And swoop in.
Our author demonstrates, yes, the swooping is important. Our author demonstrates that the present taste of sugarcane, presumably in our mouthfuls, can allow us to logically perceive both the past and present at the same time. What are these two things that he says we can know by the presence of that taste of sugarcane, one from the past and one from the present?
Mm. Hmm. That sugar cane grew.
Um, Sort of, yeah. I mean, that's okay. That is true.
That we're eating it and then
Um,
it grew.
yeah. We had an earlier example where the barley could grow. In this case, whatever was going to turn into the sugarcane,
Did grow.
uh, it did, right. So there must have been that earlier cause for the sugarcane, but also that earlier cause was certainly
Have the potential.
Supported by the causes.
activated,
Mhm.
you could say, because it did change, yeah, into this present. So what else would be present if the taste of sugarcane is present?
The causes for sugar cane? Oh, a mouth?
Lindsay
Or-
says the actual sugarcane.
Or if it's a current, can you deduce that it will also be 15 minutes later?
Hmm?
Is it going to pass the test through time?
Or Ben, he's eating sugar cane and he's got too excited about
Yeah,
the
he froze.
his
It must
taste.
have been an ice cream cone and not.
I'm gonna have to.
Huh?
I think he said he's going to finish that sugar cane juice.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I freeze? It's very cold
Yep.
here.
It's very cold in Florida.
He's in Florida? I thought Albuquerque.
He's out there with the gators.
Oh, it must be Florida. Okay.
Yeah. Internet gets slowed down by the swamp.
Seriously, he's in Florida?
Yeah.
That explained it. Okay. Sorry, Bimora. Okay, Nick, let's go to the text.
Oh, boom. I'm sure he'll find internet very soon.
He should be in a good coffee shop. That's his usual MO.
I know.
All right, let's see here. Boy, this is a nasty text. Okay.
It's just been getting worse and worse.
No, it's about to go off the charts. Okay, share my screen. Okay. Oh, Ben, we just saw you back.
I'm so sorry.
We solved all the homework questions. We're on the vocabulary now.
Oh, perfect. I'm so glad to hear it. I think you're gonna do great. Let's find that vocabulary. I hate to slow you down. What
No,
does
you
this
didn't.
mean?
You didn't.
Someone say it.
We didn't figure out that last one.
Just by
I think
one
Oh, the
result reason, you know that there was the earlier sugarcane as well as the taste.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
one
and
result proves that.
there should even be visible.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
Hey, Ben, you might want to turn off your video. You obviously don't have the bandwidth.
Yeah. Well, I think that first vocabulary word, and Ben can't tell me if I'm wrong, has something.
What is it? What is it, Nick?
I think it has something to do with the set
Take a
of
shot.
the set of causes has the potential to bring about that result.
J-poke is a verb made up from J-pok.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. So like deduction.
Yeah,
Inference.
So
which
to
can
infer.
The
Hey.
inference of a cause
Oh, you
later.
can deduce the causes from the result.
Hey Ben, people propose that you turn off your video.
Not because you're not good looking.
Well, I don't know. Yeah.
Looks like a movie star in that picture.
Yeah.
No.
I'm
That's
so
a
sorry
transaction.
about this. I'm almost there. Let's try. I'm gonna try a better. And in the meantime,
Okay. That makes sense.
Gyuchu
Yeah.
J-talk.
J-talk.
What's that
Okay.
mean? J-talk.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Inference
Someone
of a
tell me what it
cause.
means.
Go backwards. J-talk.
Yeah, it's cooler than that. Inference. Yeah, J-talk. Inference or thought. What's a thought?
Reason.
Reason, which is
Cool.
J-bu.
Result reason.
It's a
Reason
result
is a
reason.
result, which allows
And
us
that
to
result to J-pop.
To infer the qualities of a cause.
Yay!
Hey.
Beautiful. Okay.
I would say
Uh-huh.
Gyuchu's. Yeah, okay. That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
What would you say instead? I'm super into
No, I
it.
like it. I like it. I just decided I
Okay.
like it.
Great. Okay. All right. I'm very open to revision should it come.
No, I like it. I like it.
What do we think about Gepe Nupa?
It's possible
What's possible?
Come.
for something to come into existence.
Yeah, great. Sounds good.
Uh,
In this case, we
potential
could
to
even
create.
say potential, maybe even.
Well, because of the D, I think you'd have to say the potential to trigger something. You see what I mean?
Oh, cool. Okay.
Well, I guess
Okay.
what does the D do exactly to the verb?
The D makes it active. Chipabongusuyupa. It makes
Okay.
it agentive
I see.
rather than it grew.
Uh-huh.
Now it was grown, which we say triggers a nice verb. Sugeng.
Well, that's so helpful.
Thank you. Great.
Okay. Okay. How about this? Mitunchok la matongwa.
You don't, is it like a reason where you don't see something contradictory?
Yeah, you could say.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
you could
didn't, you didn't say fact, but I figured it was relating to that.
It could be. It's not seeing something in the set of things that's different from the subject. So, just because you don't see uncooked rice in the left side of the pot doesn't mean there's no uncooked rice in the right side of the pot. So it's not seeing something in the opposite.
That's going to come up a lot today. And you should understand or you should mention that it doesn't refer to the subject. It refers to the Drupcheche.
Oh,
The subject together with the asserted
This-
quality.
No, just the Drupcheche.
just the asserted
Or just the
quality.
asserted quality.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, that's the whole debate of your whole class today.
Oh,
That's going to be the whole debate of this class.
interesting. Wow, good. It's a good thing we're going to have this class, not subject.
Uh,
Okay, but
I want to say one thing in advance that this is probably the worst class I've ever seen.
oh, good.
Just so people get excited.
I think my internet's conking out now.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of trouble, here,
Okay.
here is a little bit of student translation
Okay, good.
for your I won't bother you. I put a title here and then I will not bother you with the root text. But
Okay.
um
Yeah. I'm not touching the root text till later, a later lifetime.
I understand.
But let's go to the commentary, okay?
Great,
not-
absolutely.
I'm not being uncooperative. I don't think we can translate the root text responsibly from this commentary. And then-
Absolutely. No, that was my assumption. Of course. Of
Okay.
course, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I understand. Correct.
Okay.
Great.
Okay. The master explained.
Chepad, sorry.
Yeah, please read. I'm sorry.
No, not at all. Chepad de tunchok ni tunchok kang rung la tong yang de ni kang rung la tetsum sawa de flang den du jube chit.
Yeah. Let's get the folks in the audience familiar with Chinchok. So
Mhm.
give the classic syllogism. Take sound.
Right. It's a changing thing because it's made.
Yeah, take sound. It's a changing thing because it's made. What's the quality you're trying to prove about sound?
I'm trying to prove that it's changing.
And that's called the Chinchok. And then mi Chinchok means what's the opposite of that?
The me tunchok would, in this case, would be not being made.
Yeah,
Sorry, not being changing. I apologize.
Yeah, being something which never changes. Being something which never changes. Yeah. So do you ever see the subject here in the mitincho? The subject is sound. Do you ever see it in the mitincho? Do you
No,
ever see it in the opposite of the quality being asserted? Do you ever see it in the field of unchanging things?
you never see sound in unchanging things.
Yeah, is that enough to conclude that the reason that the syllogism is correct?
No.
Can you think of a counterexample? That's the key here.
Yeah, a counterexample that would be both what and what.
I would say you have to change the reason to something that's illogical. And then just the fact that sound is not in the meter choke doesn't prove the whole statement. You see what I mean? Take sound, it's changing because it's no, made is a good reason. Take sound,
Yeah.
it's changing. Well, no, anything that's green should change. Take something that doesn't change. Take sound, it's changing because it's the sky. It's empty space. Okay. Take sound, it's changing because it's empty space. Okay. What's the mid-turn choke? What's the opposite of the quality we're
unchanging things.
What's the opposite of the quality we're trying to prove? We're trying to prove that it's changing. What's the opposite of that?
Unchanging.
Existing but not changing. Existing but not changing. Does sound exist in that? Existing but not changing. It does not exist in we call it the field of inconsistent examples or opposite examples, okay? So the proof is take sound, it's changing because it's, what do we say? An unchanging thing. No, because it's empty space, okay? So if it's correct that sound is not in the opposite of number two, which is what? Changing. If you cannot see sound in the opposite of number two, what's number two? It's changing. What's the opposite of number two? It's unchanging. Does sound exist in the opposite of number two? Yes or no?
No.
Can you find sound which is not changing?
No.
No.
Does the fact that sound is not in the opposite of the second item prove the third one?
No.
No.
No, that's the idea. That's the thing. Okay, that's the thing. And there was a logician who said it did. Okay, if you then, according to that person, who happens to be Dharmakirti's teacher, okay, sorry, Dignaga's teacher. Sorry, Dignaga's teacher. So what's the dokyap here?
That is the dokyap, isn't it?
Or you can say that's the mituncho. Okay, so just because sound is not in the opposite of what we're trying to prove doesn't mean that the whole reason is correct. Got it? Let's take sound. It's a changing thing. Am I correct so far? Yeah, because sound doesn't exist in the opposite of
changing thing.
Changing, which is unchanged. So far I'm okay. Take sound, it's changing. But then if I say because it is empty space, is it still correct? And then that logician said that logical statement is correct because sound is not in the opposite of number two.
Okay.
Okay, got it?
Yeah, sort of.
And
I'll
then
have to work on it.
Wouldn't you then have, what would you, are you saying it is empty space or it's not empty space?
it doesn't matter. Well, no, that would be correct. Well, that could be correct. You're right.
That wouldn't be a reason. It's
So we got to go this way to do today's class. You ready? What's the definition of a good reason for the particular proof?
One in which the three relationships hold.
No, correct reason. Yeah, one in which the three relationships hold. One is three. If something is three, it's two. And most importantly, in today's class, if it's not two, it's not three. Okay, take sound. It is a changing thing because it was made. Okay, what are the three elements of the correct reason here? One is three. Sound is made. If three, then two. If something is made, it must be changing. And now the important one for today's class. If not two, then not three. If something is not changing,
then
it cannot be made. Okay? Is now in the definition of the third, by the way, if those three relationships hold, the reason is correct in Buddhism. Okay, then the whole reason is correct in Buddhism if the three relationships hold. People are interested in the third relationship, which seems to be, in my opinion, for the last 50 years, redundant. If it's true that three is two, then it has to be true that if it's not two, it's not three.
Right.
Okay, it's almost like an extra check, a redundant check. You see what I mean? Number three seems to be a redundant check. Okay. Now the authors here are going to debate about number three. If not two, not three. Can the third quality of a good reason be proven if the subject is only not two? Take sound. It's a changing thing. Okay, because it's not found in the group of things that are not changing things. Take sound. It's a changing thing because it's not found in the group of things which is not changing. But what if
it is found in the group of things that are not a changing thing?
Then what about non-existence?
Right.
See, there's problems with it, okay? All right. Just because it's not found in the opposite of number two doesn't prove that the logical statement is logical, if that the statement is logical, if number three isn't logical. Take sound, it's a changing thing because it's a fish or something. You see what I mean? Okay. Fish doesn't apply to number one, by the way. Okay. Sound is not a fish. Okay. 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 But the nasty thing we're going to work on today is if something is not in number two, is that enough for the third quality of a good reason to be proven? You see, and there's going to be a debate about it, and for something here, Ben.
Yes.
The difference between Dignaga and his teacher, whose biography we briefly read, the difference between them is that Dignaga thinks the dokya, the opposite of number two, the relationship between the opposite of number two and the opposite of number three, right?
Yes. Yes.
Has to be there for it to be a correct reason. Okay, and Dharmakirti and Dignaga's grandfather didn't think that was the case. So in some things, Dignaga objected to his teacher, whose name
means
Dignaga's
Vasubandhu?
no, it was hang on.
Or are
He's
we
not,
talking the guy in between, Ishvara Sena?
yeah, Ishvara Sena.
Mm-mm-mm.
Wangchuk
Right.
Day.
Yeah, he's Master Dignaga's teacher, Dharmakirti's.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dharmakirti's teacher, Master Dignaga's student. He taught the compendium 3 times to Dharmakirti.
Right. Okay. Let's say that.
Corrected
Okay.
him, I think. This was a mess. I'm sorry, Ben. This is all wrong. I shouldn't even leave this on the board. But you also asked me to do a report on Langden.
Yeah, it is Ishvara Sena. So Ishvara, one more point.
Yes, please. I'll leave this here. I just hate to have the English because it's just wrong.
Dharmakirti attacks his teachers. His teacher, right? A student of Dignaga?
Yes, right. Yes.
And with 8 different ridiculous consequences.
Right.
Okay. If you believe that the opposite of sound, if sound is not the opposite of the quality we're trying to prove, that therefore the whole reason is correct, then 8 ridiculous things happen. And that's what we're going to study that's what we're going to study today. And they are hard. And they are complicated by the fact that none of the writings of that teacher survive. Okay. We're working on secondhand knowledge. Okay. Okay, cool. Everyone's excited, Ben. Okay.
You asked me to do this report. I think Langden is this Sheshavat.
Oh, okay.
Which right is Sha, because when the T and the Sha come together, it becomes Cha. And so Shesha Lakma and Den Dembavat. It looks like Shish means to leave.
Yeah,
and,
good.
And I think I don't even know how to pronounce this. And then sometimes I see this in parentheses, this Indo-European root, which I don't totally understand, but I guess the S sometimes falls off. And the K's sometimes become palatal. Gutturals sometimes become palatals.
Okay.
And so K or Kai meaning to cut or split, and probably then the words discern
Yeah, good.
Consciousness. Schism is a nice one. Um,
Yeah. But I wanted to know if you have any opinion about why it means to have doubt.
yeah, it seems that it's unfinished. You haven't finished your examination, and so you've left something over. I mean, I got this wrong because I said the subject, but it seems that um we can see uh we can look in groups that are like or unlike. This for me, and maybe I should take this down because I think what I wrote here is maybe not helpful, um but at least in the case of the pot with the rice in it, um you can look all through the area that um of cooked food, but that still leaves doubt about what's in the pot that remains in, or excuse me, the rice that remains in the pot. He said if you um and I did have
But you took a bite of the rice in the pot. It was well cooked, and then you draw the
yeah,
assumption that all the rice in the pot is well cooked. And I was going to say, Ben,
yeah, right. Yeah.
so Ben is struggling with an ancient Sanskrit word, which is with the Tibetan translation is hangden, which means there is still something remaining. And it's an ancient, these words for logic are very complex and very strange, even in Tibetan. If it's kind of fun to watch Tibetans, well-educated Tibetans at the wall of the debate ground, listening to monks debate, and they have no idea what they're talking about. Because like this word means leftovers. It has leftovers. But it means a bad reason. And I asked Ben as a homework assignment to figure out why, and maybe go to the Sanskrit, which must mean something left over, and it does. Sheshabat, right? Something like that.
Yeah, right. Sheshavat, Langden.
Yeah, something left over. I was going to propose inconclusive.
Yeah, great. Yeah, sure. That sounds, yeah, here's the syllogism, by the way. Right. True dre lakma. The
Yeah,
rice
okay,
left over in the pot, right?
okay,
Tsupayunte, it's cooked. Tsupa dre dang chua chiki nang du tsupar tsumbe cheer, because the it's like the cooked rice cooked in the same pot.
good,
It's
nice,
like
okay, good.
but it leaves doubt. Like you're only checking the cooked rice, so something is left before. You've divided, but you're leaving something behind to leave. Shish. Um, you've left doubt on the table because it's not a thorough enough examination, I guess.
Yeah, you haven't covered all the possibilities.
So I was heavy-handed and I called it like a reason which leaves doubt.
That's
Incomplete is probably better, right? I just used a lot of words.
I would say inconclusive. Yeah,
Inconclusive, yeah, that's great.
yeah. We took a sample of the rice. But we took a too small of a sample, and that
Mm-hmm,
doesn't prove that all the rice is cooked in the pot. That's what they're talking about. Okay,
mm-hmm,
yeah,
mm-hmm,
cool. So
mm-hmm.
it helped me. Your Sanskrit helped me, and there's inconclusive also means there's still some question left over.
Right. And I mean maybe we can go to your screen, boss, but I guess
Okay,
in this piece that I butchered, he is trying to explain the meaning of the term, that what it leaves, right? Leaving a leftover, leaving a hlakma, the hlakma that is that it has is doubt. It leaves
okay,
tetsom, right? A
good,
feeling of tetsom. Master Dharmakirti says tetsom, and then
good.
Yeshe Wangchuk says that feeling of doubt remains. And thus the shish, it remains.
Questions remain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
please take the screen, boss. It
Okay,
is serving nobody to look at what I've
let's
done
go
here.
somewhere painful.
Oh, good.
Uh,
Much better.
Okay, let me get you out of here. All right. Okay, so we did this, right?
It wasn't great. I honestly, we did, yeah, not necessarily word by word, but
Oh, do you want to go? Let's do it word by. Can you read it one more time? Che pade.
yeah. Jepade, tunchok, mi tunchok kangrung la, tong yang, de ni kangrung la, tetsum sawa, de lang den du jebe chiu.
Good.
Yeah,
We saw some of the rice in the cooked category,
yeah.
but we might have seen some of the rice in the uncooked category. And since we still are having tetsom, what's tetsom?
Doubt.
Yeah, since we're still having doubt about which one any particular rice grain might be in, we can
Yeah.
call the whole uh, logic which still leaves some remaining doubt. Okay?
Mhm.
Talk
Great. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
Okay.
All
Thank you.
right. Who's going to read the next one, Dr. Ben?
Dodo, you're right there in my screen. Please.
Oh, no. Hang on one second. Let me do this. Where's this thing? System settings. Motion appearance.
I'm ready when it's okay.
What I do? Accessibility. Display. Cursor. Okay, good. Dodo.
Yes, sir.
Omar?
Sumba, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, Sumba, 천시라, 천이, 네 체키, 체마, 개발, 셰발라니, 딱히, 너 겹죽바, 제와라, 뜨발, 땜바당, 제와, 테니, 네 체키, 체마, 셰발.
Nice. You are frighteningly good. So Sumba means what, you guys? Ben, you want to read Sumba?
This is the third section that we discussed from above, in which we're going to use a classical example. We're going to show how the um, uh, we're going to use classical. Oh, we're going to show how the definitions of a correct reason are present in classical examples.
Good. Okay, you could say that. Yeah. Yeah, you could
Um,
say that. Okay. So how how are the qualities present in the sample we're taking? How's that?
mhm,
Something like
mhm,
that. And ngeje kitsema means we're going to use correct, accurate perception to determine that.
mhm.
And we're going to discuss this kind of accurate perception in two parts. Taki dongyab drupa jawala tupa temba. Let's go backwards, Ben. A demonstration that
Depending on relationships,
yeah, uh,
we can establish the um, right negative
yeah, you could say negative
necessity or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In other words, the third of the three qualities. If it's
Uh-huh.
not made, much judgment,
Yes.
if it's not impermanent, it cannot have been made.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Opposite of two is opposite of three. Okay.
Yes.
So to prove that, this is a big deal, supposedly, in this argument. To prove the third relationship of the three relationships necessary to prove that a reason is logical,
Mhm,
or that your
mhm.
husband or wife is being logical, or your boss. To prove it, all three relationships have to be there. And to prove the third relationship, that the opposite of two means the opposite of 3. Okay, if something is not unchanging, it cannot be made. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Uh, that you have to look at a relationship. That's the point of today's class. You cannot examine it in a vacuum. You have to examine the question
Yes.
of the validity of the opposite of number 2 by looking at the relationship, I guess, between the opposite of number 3 and the opposite of number 2. Okay?
Okay.
There has to be some relationship underlying the validity of the third check for logic.
Mhm.
Okay? There has to be some relationship underlying, which means, I guess, that the opposite of 2 has to be related to the opposite of 3 somehow. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
I guess, a tipper.
Right.
And somehow this other teacher didn't focus on the relationship. So in a vacuum, without mentioning number 3, he decided that if sound didn't exist in the opposite of number 2, then the whole reason was correct.
Hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
This other teacher seems to have decided, this other teacher, Dharma Kirti, seems to have decided that if sound didn't exist in the opposite of number 2, the whole syllogism was correct. Rather than saying sound cannot exist in a relationship of 3 and 2, of the opposite of 3 and the opposite of 2. Okay? Some about the relationship. He said you cannot take the second element in a vacuum. You have to mention the third element. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And then that's the part we're going to be working on now, today, and the next couple classes. And then he wants to talk about, go backwards now.
Yeah. An explanation, the accurate perception of certainty that of that very relationship that we're talking about.
Yeah, I'll read it. I'll propose a reading, and I'll go backwards, explaining the accurate perception required to confirm that that relationship between 2 and 3, or between the opposite 2 and the opposite 3.
Okay. Yeshe means that which makes you certain or something.
Yeah. So he has 2 points here. Number 1, you cannot discuss sound in a vacuum of just talking about the opposite of number 2. You have to talk about the relationship between the opposite number 3 and the opposite number 2. And then secondly, you have to talk about means of perception of confirming the relationship between the opposite of number 3 and the opposite of number 2. Sorry, the opposite of number 2, the opposite of number 2. Okay. And by the time he finishes those 2 sections, we should, it should help us. Why, but Ben, why do you think they're talking about this here and now? We just got finished with the 3 necessary relationships of a good reason, which seems like a good place to start the most important book on logic and Buddhism. And then why does he suddenly go to this debate about the 3rd relationship?
Well, I mean, my feeling is just the clue that you already gave us, that this 3rd one is suspect to the average thinking mind. It seems extra, like it needs to be justified.
Yeah, Tim said redundant. Yeah, I always felt it was a little bit redundant. Yeah.
Right.
If it's true that if something is A, something is B, then it's always true that if it's not B, it's not A. So why make them different? Why say susum sangwa dayandakitseni? The definition of a good reason is where all 3 relationships are there, because if 2 is there, 3 has to be there. You see, it seems redundant. Okay. Anyway, here we go. We're going to talk about and I'm not 100% comfortable with the Dawah here. Okay. Somehow, confirming the 3rd relationship, we wanted to depend. Sorry, confirming the third relationship depends on the
Yeah.
relationship.
Right.
Depends on the relationship, and not just the opposite of the second element in the proof.
In this context, it almost is problematic to call the Sulsum relationship. Yes,
Yeah, it is.
because
It
it's
is.
so
Yeah.
close to, yeah, okay.
Because he ends up saying relationships aren't relationships.
Yeah, right. Okay.
All right, here we go. Who's going to read, Dr. Bin?
Thank you. Kading, would you read?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Tung po lasum, mi tun chok la ma tong zam gi dok kyab ju par ndo pa gak patang kag pe ju pe don tang ju du bao.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa.
Mhm.
Yeah. Wow.
Mhm.
Cutting, your reading's getting good, and your photographs are amazing. Keep taking them. I'm running out of photographs for my daily thing. It's getting difficult. Double assume. Okay, talking about why a relationship is important to confirm the third relationship. Okay. We have three parts to this discussion. Number one, we're going to deny the idea that just because mitunchok lamatong,
Just because we don't see something in the opposite of the asserted quality.
good. Just because we don't see number one and the opposite of number two doesn't necessarily mean that the dokyat droops.
That the negative pervasion works out.
That sounds like some kind of funky thing. Negative and then yeah.
I'm open. I'm stealing it from your course 13, but I'm super open to another approach.
Yeah, okay. I hate it when they quote me to myself.
Sorry, I'm open.
Yeah, dupa. Yeah, just because the opposite of element number two, just because we don't see the subject in that group. Okay, just because if we flip the second part of this of the logical proof, we don't see the subject in that group. What's that mean in our classical example? Sound is not found in the opposite of
changing, which is to say unchanging.
Unchanging things. Yeah. Just because the subject being discussed is not found in the opposite of the second element doesn't mean that the third relationship necessarily holds. Okay. Because you could have said, take sound, it's changing because it's an unchanging thing. Okay. I mean, it works until you get to the third part. Okay. Cool. All right. So we're going to deny people who say that it's enough if sound is not observed in the opposite of the second. They say that's enough to prove the statement. And we say, no, we got to hear the third one. It might be a silly reason for the second one. Okay. And then we're going to deny that idea. And then we're going to show what the denial necessarily suggests that is correct. Okay. Cockpit drupe dun means the denial itself suggests some other truth. Okay. We're going to discuss that, which probably is going to be that you have to consider the whole three parts of the syllogism. You can't stop your logical investigation when your wife gives her what she's trying to prove before she gives her reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Which we often do. Okay. And then thirdly, Jugdua, what's that?
What we're gonna put it together at the end. I don't know.
Yeah, we're just gonna have a little wrap up. In Yiddish, what is juke? What is juke?
Roach.
Cockroach. Yay. They used to call me juke in the diamond business. Oh, sorry, Hebrew also. Okay. All right, here we go. Who's gonna read, Dr. Bin?
Oh, good. We're going to resort to people in the room. I think Lindsay, please.
Here she comes.
Great.
The top
So, yeah, this Dumbledore.
with Dambala, Dokya, Grupa,
Droop.
Drupa, Drupala, which one is it?
When a B is a second syllable, it goes to wa.
Wala,
Jawala.
okay. Wala Topa Lokdon Choklangi Shepa Dang.
Yeah, and if you're reading out loud to
Yeah.
an audience, the instrumental make it long. Choklang ki shepa. Okay.
Choklangi Shepa Dang. Mi Shepa La Gelwa Tenpa Dang. Matang Zan Dokya Tu the Pei Shende Gakpa Tangsumo.
Nice.
Great,
Okay.
great.
Ben, let's read it together. Can you stay
Yeah.
for another one? She's a good reader. Dangbala means the first of these, which was we're going to prove that just seeing that the subject of the proof is not found in the opposite of the second element of the proof doesn't mean that the third relationship necessarily proves. Okay.
Yep.
Okay? Right.
Yep.
To do that, we have two more steps. Sorry, three more steps. Dokyap, drupa, dawala, tupa. If you want to drupa the dokyap, you're going to have to tupa on the dawa. But
If you want to establish the negative necessity, you're going to have to depend on the relationship or on relationships. We'll see.
Yeah, and I'm still not 100% sure what that relationship is. I assume it is the relationship between 3 and 2.
Okay, yeah. Or my guess is it's going to be either Zhangshin or Dre.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, well, all drawas are that. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, Lopan Choglanki Shepa. That's the position of who?
Of Master Dignaga.
Yeah. So he says, he appears to be saying, in my opinion, if you're going to establish the third relationship, you have to look at, you have to look at the relationship between element 2 and element 3. You cannot treat element 2 in isolation. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's our position. That's Dignaga's position. Okay? Then he says, if you mishepa with me, Gelwa.
Oh, if you say something other than that, then you are contradicting Dignaga?
No. If you don't agree, no. We're going to demonstrate contradictions in not agreeing with Dharmakirti's position. Yeah.
With Dharmakirti's position or Dignaga's?
Dignaga's position.
Okay.
You're
okay.
going to point out that there are contradictions if you don't agree with the position of Dignaga, that you have to look at the relationship and not just the opposite of the second element. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Then we're gonna Gakpa Shende.
We're going to refute the other positions.
Who says that Dupa just Matoma in the Mitunchok is enough to establish Dokya.
Yeah, that just not seeing, what is it, the asserted quality.
The opposite. Just because you don't see the subject of the logical proof in the opposite of the quality we are asserting, doesn't mean you have proven the third relationship necessary for a correct reason.
Okay.
Cool. Okay.
Yep.
Now, why he goes so heavy at the beginning is beyond me. And by the way, I want to say one thing. Geshe Yeshe Wangchuk, the modern author, my teacher's teacher of this huge masterpiece, which he wrote in prison for 15 years or something. It's an amazing work, and I think he changes horses a little bit into the text, you know, and I don't know where. We'll have to define it. This text to me is worth translating. It's worth spending 20 years translating because he explains Dharmakirti word by word, and nobody else does. But he doesn't seem to start it at the beginning. He seems to have made that decision maybe a couple of years into his book, okay, which is kind of frustrating for us. Because we want to translate his book because he gives word by word what Dharmakirti meant, but he doesn't do it in the opening section. Okay, frustrating. We should write him a letter. Okay, we need Lindsay to read again.
Sampo Stokya Grupa Drupa Drawala Tupa Lotun Chuklangi Shepa Tenpan.
Good. Ben, translate, go
Yes.
backwards.
Yeah, demonstration that of what Dignaga said, that you have to depend on the relationship or a relationship in order to establish or prove the negative necessity.
Good. Okay. And by the way, he just said that 2 lines
Yes,
above,
right.
word
Bless
for
him,
word.
bless him. Yes.
He said it word for word, which means that even he admits it's a pain in the ass sentence. Okay, that he thought it was necessary to repeat the whole sentence. I'll give you three parts now in my discussion, and the first part is blah blah blah, and he repeats exactly the same sentence that he gave us 10 seconds ago. It means, I think it shows that he knows it's a nasty sentence. We're gonna skip the root text. Hail Mary. I'm reading a good science fiction book on Hail Mary by the guy who wrote The Martian. Anyway, it's good, Mr. Kramer. Let's go to this. Who's gonna? No, you want Lindsay to do one more, or
We're running out of time. We should just keep her there if we can.
Okay, hang on. Okay, go. Shepe.
De so soon. Sikche de so soon. Yit san mi la nge je se pani. Gelma nge ma group pay. Ma drupe. And sik soon. Gingen for shepe che du je pay cheer.
Nice. Good. So there are 3 bad reasons mentioned here. There are 3 categories of bad reasons mentioned here. It's fun to learn them and then watch your coworkers use them. Okay. No, I mean, that's how you learn logic. You don't learn it in a vacuum. Okay. A logical reason can be illogical because it's Gelwa, because it's Mangepa, or because it's simply Madrupa. What are those 3, Ben?
It's contradictory, it's uncertain, or it's not established, it's not proven.
Yeah, or it just doesn't work. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to give me examples of all 3? Let's go. Give me an example of bad logic which happens to prove the exact opposite of what you want to prove.
Sound is an unchanging thing because it's made.
Good. Okay, good. That reason is in direct contradiction with that quality that you're trying to prove about sound. Okay? That one's easy. Mange.
Sound is an unchanging thing because hungry ghosts like to listen to it.
How about you just say because it exists?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Sound unchanging thing. Sound is a changing thing because it exists.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with these three.
It's indefinite. It's indefinite. It could be true, but it's not true. It's not always true. That's what Mange means.
Okay,
Then
I see.
and then Madhub is pretty easy. Take sound.
Oh,
It's made because you smell it.
Because it's a
Not
fish.
just smell it.
okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
Smells good.
Okay. Yeah, which just means sound is not something that a non-Buddha can smell normally. Okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Victory, what was the second?
You can say contradictory, uncertain, inconclusive, and then just flat out silly. Whoa, I'm not sure what sneezing in the middle of a debate is. Okay, now, why are we studying this? We want to shepa the nyambo for three kinds of bad reasons.
We want to understand what is the antidote for mistaken reasoning.
Yeah, what's the use of studying all this stuff that we studied today? We want to understand Tensik Sunki Nyambo Shepiche. Yeah, we want to know how to fix those three kinds of bad reasons. Okay. Which is why Susumki Tseni Langejo Zepani. Why are we tearing apart the Susumki Tseni?
Oh, in order to come to an understanding that the definition of a correct reason is met in these classical examples or something that we're going to give?
Yeah. The reason why we're tearing apart the elements of the definition of a good reason is that we want to avoid the three kinds of bad reasons.
Okay.
Basically. Okay.
Yeah,
That's all. Okay, cool. Somebody indicated we ran out of time. I don't know. Is that true?
That's true. That we ran out.
Okay.
Don't tell Nick.
We got the handsome. Oh, thank you, Dr. Kramer. Thank you for all your good work. I'm gonna do the thing you sent me soon. I'm already working through
Cool.
people. I had long days of talking to people. I'm doing end of the year reviews of people, and he's up soon. Now, the answer to the eternal question that has recently come out on a T-shirt.
Not yet. Gonna discuss first.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dr. Kramer, you discuss. I go sit down.
Okay.
Yeah, give you this plan.
Great. I sure hope that someone is gonna help me. Lindsay, you ran away, but I won't know if someone in that room is desperate to help. So someone has to help me come up with ways to apply this to my life. Oh, good. Just, in case someone's like jumping up and down in the room, I need you to be my eyes and ears there. Yeah, the first one who started jumping up and down to share. I think they should be allowed just because they were first. It only seems fair, don't you think?
You were done.
Oh, yeah.
If that's Geshe Michael's computer, can you take out the share? Can you end the screen share?
Oh, yes, I can.
Please.
There we go.
Oh, good. Oh, nice.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
can start. I just wanted to say, I honestly didn't understand why it was faulty logic until I saw an example. And so I think just like that was just making me think of what else am I getting wrong? One, and then the power of like concrete examples, how like the second I saw an example, I was like, oh, that is wrong. But that's all I got.
Yeah, that's great. No, we just did over the years that we've practiced together at Diamond Mountain back in the day, we used to write up on a whiteboard all the different relationships and ways of trying to come up with a correct reason. And what we found is basically no one ever does it right, at least not the first time. Like it takes a lot of practice. And then we would kind of take turns like analyzing our life to see like how often do I create reasons. For example, I can hit the snooze button on my alarm clock because it never takes me more than 10 minutes to get to work. Um, is that a correct reason? And then we can scrutinize it. How many of the things I do in my life I do based on reasons? And if I can't come up with a correct reason at gunpoint with the correct reasons, with the proofs, or excuse me, the relationships, the tests of a correct reason written in front of my face, then what are the chances throughout my day I'm using correct reasons to navigate? Um, I learned a cool word. I'm gonna do it wrong. Is it paramoshta or something? I learned from the Russian speakers because uh, it, patamushta.
Yes, yes. Потому что.
Awesome. Yeah. How many times a day do you use that word? How many times a day do you use the word because? And what's behind it? You are suggesting three relationships by using that word, but they're seldom there. They're almost never there, and people don't know or think about it, and it's so sad. And don't the worst thing you can do is watch debates on television and listen to people talk past each other. It's so painful. And then we have this very rare thing, which is to break down why we think the things we think. And then I don't know, there's also something about feelings or something. It's nice to have these discussions, but in the classic Geshe Michaelian argument, we should go to the Japanese restaurant because we should go to the Japanese restaurant. Um, Even if you convince your partner of your logic, it doesn't necessarily change their mind. Um, I know because I don't necessarily, even when I think my logic is airtight, it doesn't necessarily change my wife's mind about where we should eat tonight. Um, what do you think? So, how are we going to use all this? Will it really change people's minds? It's so hard to change people's minds. Can this work? Can we change people's minds with logic? Do we want to change people's minds?
Well, wouldn't you want to test your own mind first? Like, can you test your logic in whether or not you can hit the snooze button? You know, whether that's a truly correct, illogical reason, then maybe you're going to hit the snooze button until you figure out a reason that is correct that would allow you to hit the snooze button.
Yeah, right. That's right. And if you turn out to be wrong again and again, if you analyze the reasons in your life and you notice that you use the word paramoshta all day long, but you don't know how to formulate a reason, then maybe Ben should shut up a sec and and listen. And
Stop creating all that negative karma.
yeah, right. It's probably a very powerful lesson that I should let other people do the talking more. So, would anybody else like to add anything? For God's sake?
For karma's sake.
Grandpa got something.
Oh, thank God.
Now, just because I'm being logical, it's true that it doesn't make other people logical around me. But if others come from me, then if I can keep being more logical, then over time, the people around me will be more logical because of the second of the four results of karma.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yay. So political debate can become an enjoyable event.
It just means I have a long way to go. If people around you are not being logical, then I guess it's a sign that you're not being logical, that you have to keep working on it as long as there are still partisan political debates in your world. You must not have mastered the art of civil, sensible correctness. Yeah.
You know, something I was thinking about is for me, logic helps separate what I believe is true from what's actually true, right? So I have a lot of things that I believe, and then as soon as I start analyzing them, I start to see that there's kind of a separation between the two, such as where I believe things come from and where they're actually coming from, and how I operate my life is usually dictated by what I believe. So, but I did have something funny to also. So about 6 months ago,
How's
I was
your
like,
eye?
I told Ava that it's doing better. It's doing better. It's still uncomfortable.
Who shot you in the eye? Was that
It
a
was
little girl?
Kate. It was Kate. It was Kate.
Oh, okay.
And she got me from like 20 feet away.
With a ketchup bottle?
No, with a Nerf dart.
Nerf dart.
Oh, right. Oh, no. That's right. That's
Those
right.
were made illegal in 1982.
That's right. The link.
Oh my goodness. No, they're still everywhere. They're huge. But just as an aside, I told Ava that if I ever ask her to do something, that she's more than welcome to ask me why. Like she never has to like really take anything that I ask her to do and just kind of do it because I'm asking her to. And I said that if I ever tell you to do something because I'm telling you to do it, I said, I want you to tell me talk madrub, right? And I can't tell you how many times she said that to me over the past 6 months. She said, but Dad, talk madrub. I'm like, okay, babe, thank you. Well, here's why. This is why I'm asking you to do it.
Yeah,
it's not always the most time efficient way of getting us into the truck to get loaded up to do something. But I think we all kind of carry beliefs, and I think it's more so, especially in the more secular world. There's kind of a lot of beliefs that are held, and I think reasoning helps establish, what may be faulty beliefs from actually well-founded beliefs.
That's wonderful, Adam. My mom was this way too, and she told me not to just take what she said, but if I had a good reason, if I had a good argument to make, that she might change her mind. And later, it made a lot of trouble for my teacher, but at the time, it was very cool for me.
Oh, that's good. I'd rather her understand why I'm asking her to do something than to just take it, So
Wonderful.
Yeah, right before
anyone else? Oh, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Yes,
right before she pops me in the eye with a Nerf dart again.
A Nerf dart.
Talk my droop. Thanks, man. Yeah, it was a great class.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm open to more. We've got another minute or two if you're champing at the bit to share. I'd be so happy to receive it. It's hard. Oh, yes. Oh, good. It's happening.
He also has to do the next 3 parts of the home. Okay? Seriously. Send a message.
Okay.
Oh, good. Hi,
Says you
thank
have
you.
to do the next 3 parts for homework.
The next 3 parts for homework. I shall.
Yeah. So I'm thinking like if you don't think about karma as a reason, so mostly we are either in the first not reason, like a not logical reason, or the second or the third, but sometimes I feel it's like all the three together, like everything I think about as a reason, or at least two of them. Like for the example you gave about the alarm clock, which exactly what happened to me this morning. I have 10 minutes before I go to work, and to think that it would be enough to get to work on time is not certain, and it's contradiction because the other day I didn't manage to do it in 10 minutes. So it's like, yeah. So at least two are always there when you don't think about the right reason.
Yeah, it's hard. I agree. It's difficult and important. I thought I will have a good internet connection because I called the hotel in advance. I made sure that they had a business center and it would be available to me, and I could test the internet connection beforehand. But yeah, none of it didn't work. None of it turned out to be true. And now I'm sitting outside by the side of the road. But it's good. It was a good class. It worked out. It was better to be outside in the dirt, on the sidewalk and get strange looks from people than to be in their terrible business center.
Alligator Central right there, dude.
That's right. You have to be careful around here. It's very true. Thank you for the warning.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, as we now transition to Mr. Juan Hasso delivering us the Peachtree World News, I would like to make one quick announcement. Is that okay? Ben, you good? All right. After this class, we are very lucky to have a Q&A with the wonderful and brilliant Bets Greer, Venerable Utpala. So I just encourage you all to stick around. And if you have interest in things like meditating on emptiness, or, hard questions about emptiness and the different schools' perspectives, she's been studying this for quite a while, and many, many other topics. So stick around for that.
Can I make an announcement too, Nick?
Of course.
This is my on-screen advertisement. We have decided some dates for next year, which I'd like to announce one of them. We've got requests from around the world to teach DCI Level 7 again, which is Touching the Diamond World, which is the best DCI level, which is about how to see emptiness directly. If you're interested, please come to Hangzhou, China, April 4th to the 6th. Grandpa will be there in person teaching it. Foreigners are welcome there. You can come. And it's a beautiful city. It's a really nice city. It's both historical, and also it's the center of some big tech companies. So it's a beautiful combination. And if you're interested in learning to teach it, so you can teach at that event, for example, you can come to SCIM teacher training, DCI teacher training number 7 for Touching the Diamond World. You can learn how to teach that level February 21st to March 8th online. Okay, Nick.
All right.
I'll try to find the handsome guy.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much, Geshe Michael. And while Juan gets ready, I'll just also share this very quickly with you. This is the QR code if you would like to sign up for the Emptiness Meditations Retreat, January 17th to 26th with Venerable Utpala at Diamond Mountain. There, if you can make it. Thank you. All right, there he is.
Yeah, we have to hire you, Nick.
Okay.
You can do Peachtree World News. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it sounds like a great idea. We'll talk about it soon. And yeah, it was wonderful today. Nick sent me this. We already have it, and you just showed this poster on meditation retreats that Utpala is going to be running on February. No, sorry, January, very soon. And then I don't know. I never had the awareness, but this, it seems to me, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a Diamond Cutter Classics retreat event. So that it's all of a sudden I was like, oh my God. I always thought that this was like a Diamond Mountain event. Of course, it's a collaboration, which is wonderful. I thought it was like an Utpal event. And then finally, I was like, this is a Diamond Cutter Classics event. And it's really, really wonderful. I'm so excited to hear that you guys are doing this. And of course, it's all tied together because Rosa, she's around, but she just released the new printed version of the book we're going to be showing you soon. So now I understand everything is coming up together, and I'm very happy and excited to hear about it. Let's review some events. I just want to catch up what's happening in the next few months so people have an overview of things. And then we're going to review a little bit of a very cool trip that our friend Tim just finished. He came back from Taiwan, and we're going to show you a little bit of what he did there. But okay, first, tomorrow, and I want to apologize with everyone here because every time before an event, I get very nervous and anxious and stuff. So just sorry, but I just ate some, snacks, and that helps me to relax sometimes. Okay, tomorrow here, same venue. Everyone here is welcome. You guys can come at 2 p.m. Of course, people online, you can register. We are preparing good content, a nice review of 2024, kind of, a little bit window into the future of what's coming in 2025. And also, a very interesting interview with Geshe Michael himself, talking about the completion, as Nick mentioned at the beginning, the completion of his own translation, Illumination of the True Thought by Jetson Kappa. We are very excited to hear more about that tomorrow, so you can still sign up. It's going to be in about like 21 hours or something like that. You still have time. Okay. And at the same time, I want to just, honor and congratulate our friend Yeshe. She's in Diamond Mountain right now. She already started the New Year retreat yesterday, basically, and they are going to go there until January 3rd. We want to wish them very, very happy New Year from here. Congratulations and best wishes over there. And now, as I was saying, just to remind you, the release of the new edition of Emptiness Meditations, and I kind of joke about it, but it's actually truth. It will be wonderful. If you are interested to study this text deeply, if you go to the retreat, why don't show up with your book already there, right? So, you're going to be like a good student that shows up with the book already. And as I say, finally, I realized it. So thank you, Nick, for sharing that. This is of course, Diamond Mountain collaboration, but it's a Diamond Cutter Classics event there. I should put it in the poster, a Diamond Cutter Classics event. It's just me. You guys decide. And that's going to be January 17th to January 26th. Then, so you see, like tomorrow we have an event. Then in January, we have an event. Then in February, we have an event. It's going to be the Bhagavad Gita. And today, the marketing people, thank you so much. They sent me the official poster, which is the next one, where you can sign up and register now for it. It's going to be from February 6th to the 10th. It's going to be in Sedona. We don't know yet the final venue, but we are working on it. But I can tell you, it's going to be in Sedona, so you can start planning on it, February 6th to the 10th. And if you want to hear more about the content or what the schedule is going to be, there are going to be some information sessions coming up on the Bhagavad Gita. One of them is going to be with the famous singer Michael Johnson. He teaches Sanskrit, really, but he's also a great musician, and he makes it very, very fun. For some of you who have seen how he teaches, is very, very funny, very entertaining, and very knowledgeable as well. There are also going to be 2 more information sessions. The one with Michael Johnson, you can see in the poster, is January 8th. And I don't know why these people keep insisting on New York time, New York time, New York time. It's okay. We forgive you. We still love you. But that's like, what is it? 2 hours? We are 2 hours earlier than New York here. I think so, if anybody knows, but that means it's going to be 5 a.m. Arizona time. But anyways, you know these guys. They insist on New York time, so that's okay. And then Lydia is gonna have one session like this 2 days before, January 6th. Later, I'll show you. And then apparently Benji and Teresa as well are gonna have one on January 20. And for those posters, I'll reach out later. Okay, so next picture, please. Then that was February. And then March, people are going to be going to the desert in China, Dunhuang Caves, Dunhuang Desert. It's going to be a very interesting tour. If you're planning to go, you better start getting your visa ready. Hopefully, it's a great adventure and we all can be somehow part of it because I think the project is great. That's going to be March. And then April. Oh, sorry, that was April also, but this is April also. Team Lowenhub and some other friends are going to be producing an event on the new beginning of the 5 houses in Diamond Mountain, April 17 to 27. And as far as I understand, Geshe Michael is going to be there? Yes. Wonderful. So you see, I already gave you big events for the next 4 months. You can make your plans and be there if you can. It's really, really wonderful and it's really worth it in my opinion. Okay, so now, as I was mentioning, just to finish with this break and informative session, team just came back from Taiwan and I got a video from the great producer and our friend Angel. I want to show you first because they have been supporting a lot oh yeah, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Look who's here with us. Oops, what did I do? All right. Yeah, Gina's getting ready. So here we have a video just to really, I'm from Mexico, so I'm very dear to that community, of course, So thank you, Taiwan, for helping Mexico so much. And many of my friends probably get their jobs because of you. So we want to show you and share with you this video that Angel and Geshe Michael recorded a few weeks ago.
Hi, this is Geshe Michael Roach sitting with Angel, and who's been helping with this project to direct it and keep it going. This is the Happy Bucket project, which has been helping a lot of amazing things among the Mexico students and Mexico people. For example, we help the refugees coming up through Mexico, trying to travel, very, very poor, very dangerous. We help them. We're helping the Spanish translation project. They have finished a lot of the ACI courses over the 10 years of this Happy Bucket project and other projects having to do with the Mexico people. And I just wanted to thank everybody, and I want to thank Angel for taking responsibility to keep it going. And she's got all these special boxes that she's sharing with people. So please get involved, please help. Those people are desperate. I saw those people. They are very, 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 very poor. And they're in a very dangerous country. And I think it's a wonderful thing that we are helping them for 10 years. Thank you.
Thank you, teacher. Thank you.
So there you go. Thank you, Taiwan, once again. It's like weird to me to say because it sounds corny, but I think everything that people are doing are actually, they are making this a better world. And it sounds corny and it sounds like fantasy, but when I look at it, it's real. You see, that's why I don't understand. And we have some pictures of your trip. So as you talk about how did it go, Gina can help us. Gina, as you wish, just keep showing pictures. And if something comes into your mind, you can talk about it. Or just share, how did it go? We were together in Kyoto, and then right after, you go to Taiwan. What happened there?
Right afterwards, we did a whole course on meditation. So it was a week intensive, and there were about 40 people there in person, and we had about 30 people online. And it was also a celebration, the beginning of the celebration of the 10 years of the Happy Can project. So not only were we giving the classes, but we were also celebrating all the hard work that the Taiwanese people have done. Because, the Happy Can project does support the Spanish translation program, and that's its primary function. But it also, what we find is most important is how we have humanitarian projects and putting people out there and helping real people who are suffering.
Like the migrants, you
yes,
mean?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. I've been in the shelter. Big how say improvements because of the Taiwanese people.
And there's all the donors right there. They brought all their kids. It was a really fun class with kids playing with trucks and screaming in the back of the room the whole time. But it was a really wonderful moment for all of us to start celebrating that. And over the next full year, we're going to be having programs to highlight all the different aspects of the Happy Cannon Project. And specifically, we're going to have teachers from Mexico give those classes.
Wow. In Taiwan?
No, not
online.
Yet. It's online.
Well, sometime in Taiwan, it will be fun.
Yeah.
All right. Great. And then what happened there? You changed venues.
They're just Angel works in a venue space called Easy Space, and so we were just in 2 locations around the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Janet is there,
and Janet's the main translator. She worked the entire time, and by the end of it, she was so tired. You could just see.
I bet. I know, and I had a chance to meet her.
Yeah,
she's an amazing producer, also. Yeah. And she speaks Chinese, Japanese, English very well.
Yes.
So it's really.
She actually studied in my hometown.
Where?
In Pittsburgh.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then what's there? Why Brian is there in the middle so happy?
Brian gave a class.
Wonderful.
And I'm not sure which class he gave. I had Brian and Gibson give one class each during the series. So it was really cool to see them teach and see them show off their chops.
Wonderful. Yeah. Okay, then there are some pictures. If we just because we need to hurry up that one. Yes, exactly. You are doing something with these watches. You look like a magazine model. Yeah, because I don't know if you hear about it, but many people find you very pretty. Yeah.
The watches are beautiful.
Yeah, the watches too. So what's up about the watches?
They were doing a fundraiser, and during the classes, they put a different watch on me, and then someone would buy it at the end.
All right. And then you got one too?
Yeah, I made the mistake of saying I like this one, and then it just showed up. So it's a beautiful watch.
Wonderful. Yeah. What are you gonna do with it?
Just wear it.
All right,
show it off. I mean, we could auction it off if you want.
No.
One for Peachtree World News. I hear you're in need of some funds.
Yeah, but thank you. He did the T-shirt the other day in Taiwan, and I think that fundraised like something. So thank you so much for the effort, because sometimes, of course, the money is great. We like money. But sometimes the support feels very special. Sometimes it's just about the friendship and the effort to support your friends and stuff that feels really, nice. So I'm really grateful for that, because the money hasn't come. He hasn't given anything yet. But I know the support is there. The love is there. So thank you so much.
It's on its way, dude.
No, it's okay. I'm joking. Okay, so that's it. And then tomorrow, just to remind you, he will be here with us for the New Year's event. So thank you very much. We're going to be talking more about the next year with big projects are coming with the 5 houses and other things. So thank you so much for the support, really.
Thank you.
This guy came and saved the Christmas. He's really helping me with the tech table. So thank you so much. No, really, you're saving Christmas. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. So we go to Q&A. Thank you so much. See you later to all of you. And yeah, if you can tune up tomorrow, 2 p.m. Arizona time, very early in Asia, very late in Europe. Perfect time for us here. See you later.